There's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title?
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
I like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's surprise comeback fight against Mario Barrios has everyone talking. In the boxing world, promoter Eddie Hearn praised Pacquiao's talent, saying he can still take on top 20 fighters, but he also pointed out concerns about Pacquiao's age and time away from the sport, noting the 45-year-old might not be at his peak anymore. Fans are divided, some thrilled to see him return, while others fear it could harm his health and legacy. Barrios, a younger and active opponent, is a tough challenge.
It's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. People were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback has surprised fans around the world after he retired in 2021 following a defeat to Denis Ugas. Now at 46, he's preparing to face Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title this July. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the match, praising Pacquiao's lasting impact and his goal to end his career as a champion, even with doubts about his age and time away from boxing. Pacquiao is determined and ready to make history again.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and it was so out of left field. Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Denis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Denis.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back when sharing his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected return to face Mario Barrios. Speaking openly, Hackett said that if this fight took place years ago, Pacquiao would have beaten Barrios without much trouble, but things have changed. Hackett pointed out that today's Pacquiao is no longer the powerful force fans used to see. At 45, he's not expected to have the same speed, stamina, or drive. Hackett believes this fight is more about money than a true contest between two top fighters. To him, it's more of a show.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boobs, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So we want to make some money and we want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'll Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on their hunt for the rest of them straps.
Former champion Tim Bradley shared the same concerns, saying this fight seems driven more by money than by the pursuit of boxing greatness. Bradley believes that when a fighter returns from retirement, it's usually for financial reasons. While the WBC title adds stakes, he sees the real focus as the paycheck. He pointed out that Barrios is younger, active, and clearly set up as the rising star to challenge Pacquiao's limits. Bradley even suggested that Barrios has the energy, skill, and confidence to possibly end Pacquiao's run, questioning if the legend should be stepping into the ring again.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Unlike the doubts surrounding the fight, Mario Barrios stays composed and confident. Speaking before the matchup, Barrios said he respects Pacquiao, but won't be fazed by his reputation. He plans to follow his strategy and use his youth and reach to stay aggressive. For Barrios, this isn't just about money. He sees it as the biggest moment of his career and a chance to add a legend like Pacquiao to his list of victories.
The Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it showed that, you know, combination punchers, you know, that's how Pacquiao, you know, was landing, you know, his punches, combinations. And, you know, it just showed that, you know, he is a great fighter, but I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, you know, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as.
News of Pacquiao's return has shaken the boxing world, with many fans still trying to take it all in. Since his retirement in 2021, he stayed out of the ring, but now he's officially back. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed that all approvals are in place for Pacquiao to fight for the welterweight title.
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Clotley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I asked myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say. But anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman.
One of the most meaningful parts of Pacquiao's return is that he's going after the same WBC title that helped launch his career years ago. He won his first world championship at flyweight, and now he's aiming to finish his journey as WBC welterweight champ. This moment feels personal, driven by both legacy and a sense of nostalgia. There's growing talk that the Barrios fight is just the beginning. Rumors say that if Pacquiao wins, he might be eyeing a huge showdown with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Many fans and experts are wondering if Barrios was picked because he's seen as a winnable opponent to help set up one last big fight.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo.
If Pacquiao gets past Barrios, a clash with Gervonta Davis could become one of the most highly awaited fights in years, with both being powerful southpaws and having huge followings. A matchup between them would draw worldwide excitement and attention.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight, all right? He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.
Despite his age and time away from the ring,
even with his age and time away from the sport, many still believe Pacquiao has enough skill and experience to beat Barrios. His achievements across 8 weight divisions and wins over some of boxing's biggest names have earned him a spot among the greatest of all time. A win now could quiet the critics and prove he still belongs at the top. But not everyone is convinced. Some are comparing this fight to Floyd Mayweather's exhibition, suggesting it feels more like an aging legend returning for a payday rather than legacy. Pacquiao's comeback has drawn doubt from parts of the boxing world, with some saying it feels more like a show than a true championship fight.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. And why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold the welterweight division a little bit longer.
More and more fans are feeling indifferent about this fight. The concern isn't just about the fight itself, but also Pacquiao's age. At almost 46, his reflexes, stamina, and durability are expected to be nowhere near what they once were. Many fans are saying they don't want to watch another legend in a lackluster fight that doesn't live up to their prime.
This is a fight that, is almost finalized from per 210 Boxing TV from Instagram. He said, shocking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is a done deal for the summer. The date either will be July 19th or 26th on Amazon Prime, and the fight probably won't be on pay-per-view. And location, Las Vegas or San Antonio. So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, there's 210 Boxing is reporting that this fight is a done deal. I'm not going to believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se. But I mean, this is the fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight because I don't care to see Manny Pacquiao back fighting again in the ring. Like it serves no justice to see Manny Pacquiao after we just seen him fight in the exhibition and was not looking good at all in this exhibition. Like he did not look good in the exhibition fight at all. So I really don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, I mean, he gets a big payday and he gets to put a legend on his resume. And I think Mario Barrios would definitely win this fight because I just don't think Manny Pacquiao has any gas left in the tank to fight, at an elite level.
This trend is becoming common in boxing, with legends returning after retirement for big paydays. Floyd Mayweather did it. Mike Tyson did it. And now Pacquiao is following suit. Fans are growing disillusioned, feeling that these comebacks are more about money than honoring their legacies. Many are already calling this fight unnecessary and predictable, with younger, hungrier fighters like Barrios seen as the likely winners, while Pacquiao's legacy still holds a special place in fans' hearts. There's a fear that these comeback fights might tarnish the memories of his prime.
Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and they're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can't he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. To me, that doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Cause Boots, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, they can really hurt. They can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugas. Just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios can fight. Like, he could try to fight Boost because I think unification is Trump mandatory.
Barrios' coach is confident heading into the fight in interviews. He emphasized that this is a big opportunity and they're treating it with the utmost seriousness. While Pacquiao may be a legend, the Barrios team is preparing as if they're facing his prime version. The coach pointed out that Barrios never shies away from a challenge and is ready for whatever Pacquiao brings to the ring.
Mentioned a lot of people are asking what's going on. Are the rumors true? Is it possibly Spence? Is it Pacquiao? Who is Mario Barrios sharing the ring with next?
You know what? He's put himself in a great position through hard work. He's a tremendous story when he turned pro and what he's been able to accomplish being a two-time world champion. And I always told everybody, he fights all comers. When we fought Gervonta Davis, all my hats off to Gervonta Davis. But it was very difficult for us to make the weight. We were going to move up in weight. They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao's fence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis.
Pacquiao's advisor, Sean Gibbons, explained that choosing to fight Mario Barrios was a purposeful and symbolic decision. Barrios holds the WBC title, the same organization that gave Pacquiao his first championship. Gibbons believes that winning the WBC belt again would be a fitting conclusion to Pacquiao's legendary career. It's not just about money or competition, but about legacy, symbolism, and finishing on a high note regardless of the outcome. The story behind this fight is truly compelling.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer, and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios, we've talked about Conor Benn, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever many years ago was a WBC belt. So
that's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for more, and see you next time.